Right now on News 4 at 5, a blaze destroys at least 2 Buffalo homes, leaving almost 24 people homeless. We'll have the latest on the investigation as fire crews work to find out what sparked the flames.
Coming up, we'll have the very latest on shower and thunderstorm chances to start off the weekend.
Plus, deadly shooting. A person is shot and killed inside a home near the Buffalo-Cheektowaga border, where police say the investigation stands tonight. News 4 at 5 starts right now.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 5.
We begin at 5 with several developing stories out of Buffalo. 2 people are dead after separate shootings in the Queen City, one on Pomona Place and the other on Wright Avenue. And an intense fire leaves more than 20 people homeless. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christy Kern. Jackie is off tonight.
And I'm Don Postles. We're going to begin with that fire on Perry Street. The 2-alarmer broke out during the noon hour, quickly engulfed several homes. News 4's Rachel Monjovi joins us live from the scene. She has the latest on the fire. And what are the problems firefighters ran into? Rachel?
Well, Don and Christy, at least 2 families are without a home tonight. We know that the Red Cross is assisting 21 people, 11 adults, 10 children. Now, I want to bring your attention to these 4 houses behind me. All of these houses were involved in this afternoon's fire. Now, the 2 houses in the middle are a total loss. Crews will be tearing down both of these houses. Now, the 2 homes on either side have about $20,000 to $30,000 worth of damage. Now, the fire broke out just after 12:30 this afternoon. Buffalo Fire tells us a roofing company was actually doing work on one of the homes. We're told the roofing materials on the ground somehow caught fire, and then that fire quickly spread to the other houses. Now, we do know that some people were home in the other houses. No one was injured. We know that a couple of dogs were rescued, but I was just told moments ago by some of the family members of the people that lived in these houses that a couple of animals did die in this fire. Now, fire crews faced a number of challenges with this fire today. There was a water main break, and firefighters had to be pulled from one of the buildings for safety reasons.
At one point, we did try to get into the second building, and we had a floor collapse on us. Not on us, but we had a floor collapse while we were in there. So we actually had to come out. So the biggest factor with this fire was these houses had asphalt siding, which they call gasoline siding. It's made of a petroleum product. And once that starts on fire, it spreads like there's gasoline on it. So it went from one house to the next in a very rapid fashion.
Now, crews were on scene for more than 4 hours today, putting out the fire and hot spots. A fire investigator was also on scene. They will be trying to determine how this roofing material actually caught fire. Now, the 2 homes in the middle, there will be, again, an emergency demolition. That will happen, I'm told, in the next day or so. For now, reporting live on Perry Street, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 5.
Thank you, Rachel. We have an update tonight on a fire that kept firefighters busy late last night. This was the scene around 11 o'clock on Massachusetts Avenue. Tonight, we're learning that this fire started inside a stairwell between the first and second floors. We're told it then spread to the second floor and then into the attic. The Red Cross is assisting 1 adult and 4 children tonight. The damage tab rings at more than $110,000. The cause is still under investigation at this hour.
Buffalo police are investigating a deadly shooting tonight. It happened inside a home on Wright Avenue just off East Delavan. Police say the suspected shooter lives in that home.
And detectives are still trying to figure out what led up to that shooting. News 4's Jen Chance is here. She was on the scene this afternoon. Jen?
Don, it was a really emotional scene today. Close friends and family members stood waiting outside 45 Wright Avenue looking for answers on how this happened. The victim was dead before police arrived. This was the scene around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Police blocked off a couple homes with crime scene tape and were seen in the upstairs area of this blue house, which is 45 Wright Avenue. No arrests have been made, but police tell us the suspected shooter, who they're calling a person of interest at this point, is cooperating.
He is currently in our homicide division as we speak, being interviewed by our detectives, getting to the bottom of exactly what the circumstances are that led to the shooting.
Now, the names of the victim and the suspected shooter have not been released yet. We're expecting more information on this later tonight. We'll keep you posted on the air and on our News 4 app. Jen Shantz, News 4 at 5.
Jen, thank you. A Buffalo family is mourning tonight after a 31-year-old woman was shot and killed. Buffalo police say Geneva Smith died today after she was shot on Panoma Place just before 6:30 last night. That's in South Buffalo. No arrests have been made so far.
Buffalo Bills Hall of Famer Jim Kelly is undergoing yet another round of surgery. Jim Kelly's wife, Jill, posted these pictures on her Instagram page today. And in the caption, she writes, "Back in the Big Apple for more surgery today." You may recall that Kelly recently underwent jaw surgery for oral cancer. Jill goes on to say that if all goes well, they'll be back in Western New York by the weekend.
Turning now to your forewarned forecast, let's take a live look over downtown Buffalo. Absolutely beautiful out there. Nothing but sunshine on our first day of summer. It's really a beautiful night to take advantage of a free show at Delaware Park.
That's right. Shakespeare in the Park starts tonight in Delaware Park, and that's where we find our chief meteorologist, Todd Santos. Todd, to be or not to be?
Happy summer solstice, and it's a beautiful day to be out here. This is the 43rd season of Shakespeare in the Park. They're kicking it off tonight with King Lear, and really, you couldn't ask for better conditions. I mean, we have a few thin, wispy clouds. That's about it. Temperatures in the lower 70s, and throughout the hour, we'll be updating the forecast for the event itself. But if you're coming out here, even very tolerable humidity. It's kind of on the moderate side of things. By the weekend, we'll actually see the humidity starting to return. So until then, we are tracking a chance for some rain. And when I show you the radar, it's kind of remarkable how close it is and how long it's going to take still to actually get here. So beautiful night tonight. You're not going to see any rain across Western New York. Temperatures, here's a look at it with some of those slightly cooler numbers. Middleport and Lewiston kind of feeling that with that breeze off the water. But for the most part, you're looking at some nice numbers. West Seneca right now at 77 degrees. You look down into the southern tier even, we're also looking at lower 70s from Ellicottville and the higher elevations all the way down to the immediate lake shore. So really, you couldn't ask for much more to at least kick off summer with temperatures right around average for this time of year. I mean, within a couple of degrees. Lake temperatures have also continued to rise. And, you know, that water temperature off Buffalo, I mention it mainly because that number is at a depth of 30 feet, and we're going to be seeing, you know, the surface temperature likely a couple degrees warmer than that. We're not that far from the 70-degree mark at the surface, close off towards Buffalo. Looking at the satellite and radar, if I'm zoomed in this close, you see the leading edge of some clouds that have worked their way in our direction over the past 3 hours. If I zoom out a bit more, you'll see the rest of this. I will say, even though it does have some good forward progress over the last 3 hours, it's kind of applying the brakes right now, so it's slowing down. This is the piece that could start to clip, say, Chautauqua Lake and southern tier areas by around this time tomorrow. Once you get into the, say, mid-evening hours tomorrow, we may start to see a few showers up towards Buffalo. No matter how you slice it, though, we are going to see more cloud cover in place tomorrow, and it really will slowly build in. So at least for tonight, we're still thinking mostly clear to the north, may see partly cloudy conditions. I mean, just slightly more cloud cover to the south. Temperatures for all areas really getting back into the lower 50s. Comfortably cool night, a nice start to the day tomorrow, and then as we get into tomorrow afternoon and even Saturday, we're actually looking for slightly higher temperatures. So we'll take a closer look at that and the weekend rain timing coming up next. Want to send it back to you guys from Delaware Park. Don, Christy.
Thank you, Todd. Straight ahead in 2 minutes, turning up the heat. There's yet another call for the chairman of the Erie County Water Authority to resign. We'll tell you who wants him out now.
And coming up at 5:30, a woman is hit and killed by a car on a road in East Amherst. We're hearing from a neighbor why they say this area is so dangerous.